Can you actually make a living growing vegetables on less than an acre? The answer might surprise you. Revenue per acre in market gardening ranges from $20,000 all the way to $400,000 per acre. Same crops, same square footage, wildly different results. After 10 years of interviewing hundreds of farmers and running a farm-based business that serves a lot of farm customers, I've seen exactly what separates the successful farmers from the ones who are barely breaking even. And today, I'm breaking down the 6 factors that help determine whether your market garden is set to become a profitable business or an expensive hobby. And I'll show you the exact math on one crop that hits a 70% profit margin. I'm Diego, D-I-E-G-O. Welcome to Modern Grower, where we talk about building a profitable farm business, not just a farm. Let's get into it and start with realistic numbers. Revenue per acre in market gardening typically falls between $20,000 per acre and $400,000 per acre. That's a 20-fold difference, a huge gap. Income potential, what you actually take home, ranges from just $5,000 to over $150,000 per acre per season. Most market gardens operate at 30 to 60% profit margins. If you compare that to commodity farming, pretty good, because it often runs at single-digit profit margins. But here's what those ranges don't tell you. The difference isn't luck. It's 6 factors that need to work together. A quarter acre is roughly 10,000 square feet. At the low end, $2 per square foot annually, that's $20,000 in revenue. At the high end, $15 per square foot, that's $150,000 in revenue. Same land, different execution. Before you plant anything this season, calculate your current revenue per square foot. Divide last year's total sales by your growing area. That single number will tell you where you fall on this spectrum. You're not farming land, you're farming revenue density. A backyard can outperform 5 acres once you understand this. Factor 1, what you grow. High-value crops transform the math. Specialty vegetables, culinary herbs, microgreens, these command high prices that bulk commodity lettuce never will. But here's the nuance that most people miss. It's not about growing 40 varieties and hoping something sells. It's about strategic diversification. Days to maturity is your hidden multiplier. A 60-day crop lets you turn that bed 6 times per year. A 90-day crop, 4 times. Same bed, 50% more revenue opportunity with a faster crop. Here's what the data actually says. Conventional wisdom claims more varieties means more sales opportunities. But in reality, more varieties add a lot more complexity, with no guarantee of sales and more room for failure. Why does the diversity myth exist in the first place? Because it feels like reduced risk. More crops, more chances to succeed, but you're actually spreading expertise too thin and complicating every step of your operation. Every crop variety beyond your core 15 adds tasks, costs, and system complexity, extra seed orders, split harvest times, fragmented sales. Identify your top 5 crops by actual revenue last season, and this should represent at least 60% of your production this year. The reality is, you don't need every crop. You need a few superstars. Factor 2, how densely you grow. 3 techniques separate intensive producers from traditional growers. First, succession planting. Instead of one massive lettuce harvest, you're planting every week, continuous income, continuous supply. Second, intercropping, quick crops growing between slow crops, radishes between tomatoes, salad mix under cucumbers, two revenue streams from one bed. Third, raised beds and precise spacing. More plants per square foot means more revenue per square foot. Season extension changes everything. Hoop houses and greenhouses let you sell when nobody else can. First to market advantage commands premium pricing. Here's the principle: better techniques, better fertility, better soil management all lead to increased production in identical space. You're not limited by acres, you're limited by intensity. Factor 3: where you sell. Direct to consumer markets typically command higher premiums than wholesale. Farmers markets, CSA programs, farm stands, these capture retail margins that would usually go to grocery stores. The trade off is more individual transactions, more customer interactions, but the math usually favors direct sales for small scale operations. Restaurant relationships and specialty grocer accounts provide steady income with fewer transactions, but often at lower per unit prices. The real opportunity is in layering multiple sales channels. Here's what nobody talks about: surplus management. The farms that struggle aren't growing too little. Often they're leaving too much unsold. The goal is 100% sell through. How do you move everything that you harvest? Answer that question and you've solved half of your profitability problem. If you grow $40,000 worth of crops on 70% sell through, you make $28,000. If you grow $32,000 worth of product and have a sell through of 95%, you make $30,000. Less waste, less labor, less stress, and more revenue. Track your sell through rate for the next 4 weeks. What percent of harvested product generates revenue? Anything below 90% signals a sales problem, not a growing problem. Revenue isn't what you grow, revenue is what you sell. Factor 4: controlling your highest cost. Market gardening requires significantly less startup capital than traditional farming, less land, less equipment, fewer inputs, but labor remains the largest expense for most operations. And this is where profitability lives or dies. Every extra step in your harvest process, every unnecessary movement between the field and the cooler, every inefficiency in the packing system, that's margin walking out the door and money coming out of your bank account. Of the farmers that I've interviewed, the ones who hit six figures, they obsess over the minutia, the minutes, not the hours. They invest in tools that maximize efficiency. They eliminate steps before adding them. They create systems to maximize. Finding good help is hard. I know it. I've ran a business. I get it. And training is expensive, which means you need systems that are simple enough that every single person with a reasonable capacity can understand them and execute them. If you're working 50 hours per week at $20 per hour efficiency, that's $1,000 a week equivalent. At $35 per hour efficiency, same 50 hours, that's $1,750 worth of work. Annually, that comes out to $39,000 more, not from selling more, from just executing more, from working more efficiently. Time your 3 most frequent tasks this week. Then ask, how could I eliminate 30 seconds from each rep? Your time is inventory. Stop selling $50 hours for $15 execution. Factors 5 and 6 work together: demand and pricing. Grow what people want to pay premium prices for. This doesn't mean every crop, but you need a few superstars to carry the operation. Sometimes your demand is local. Sometimes you have to drive to reach the right market. The farms that I talk to, some do both. Pricing requires alignments. Your values must be relative to the market. Your product quality and messaging must match your price point, and you absolutely must know your costs. Many farmers underprice because they've never calculated their true cost per unit. They're subsidizing customers with their own unpaid labor, which is sad. Optimized unit size matters more than people realize. The right package size can increase perceived value while reducing handling times. Let me show you how these factors all work together. Salanova lettuce, one 30-inch by 100-foot bed. Total yield is around 100 pounds. Sales price, $7.50 per pound. Total revenue, $750. Your total cost, seeds, soil amendments, labor, is around $225. Days to maturity is 60 days. Total profit, $525 from a single bed in just 2 months. That's a 70% profit margin. Now imagine 4 successions of that bed being run annually. Multiply beds being grown simultaneously, and the math scales. I'd be lying if I said this was easy. Market gardening's hard. It's labor intense. Finding reliable help is genuinely difficult. Some markets are saturated with competition. Weather and pests create real risk. You're facing a commodity food system that doesn't care about quality. It's based on price. And there's a huge learning curve. Farming is incredibly hard. Don't expect day one profitability with zero experience. It's not happening. But market gardening can be profitable with careful planning and efficient practices. Focus on growing high value crops, direct marketing, and operational efficiency. You can generate substantial income on surprisingly small plots. There are people doing it. It does actually exist. Some people can make a living doing this, a really good living. The data from my interviews proves it. You can listen to those interviews on the Farm Small, Farm Smart podcast, Carrot Cashflow podcast. And the question at this point isn't whether it's possible. It's whether you can execute the fundamentals or not. Which of these single factors represents the biggest opportunity right now? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now go build a farm business, not just a farm. And I'll see you next time. But until then, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.